Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. Today we found a historic stay in Sapulpa, Oklahoma, and later in the show, Sapulpa touches the Atlantic and the Pacific. I'm Brett.
And I am Harley.
So I had a big weekend.
Yes?
It started technically on Thursday with Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm not going to give anything away, but I'm going to say this, it's a bona fide hit. And if I didn't have 12 jobs, and including being a curator of social media, I'd see it 3 more times. Highly recommend go do it. Also, I was a part of the Rhythm Nation on Friday night.
You went and saw Janet?
Janet. Dude, that's the closest I'm going to get to MJ. Janet Jackson.
I think I would prefer to go to a Janet Jackson. I mean, I know now that I can't go to a Michael Jackson concert.
Yeah.
I probably would prefer it, but when they were both alive, I think I would have preferred to go to a Janet Jackson video.
Over Michael?
I always loved Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson, she used to do...
She's a smokehouse, dude.
Oh, yeah, still. She's built like a brick shit house. When I was a kid, my stepdad, I know it's hard to believe, John, of all people, 2 of his favorite artists, Whitney Houston and Janet Jackson. And back in the good old days on HBO, I don't know if you remember this or not, they used to do concert, like certain artists would have a concert, live concerts on HBO. Well, one of them was Janet Jackson Rhythm Nation tour, and one of his favorite songs was Rhythm Nation, but Black Cat was another one. I'm just, it's like this childhood, and dude, they are not sponsoring us, but if you're looking for cheap tickets, I stole these tickets to this concert from a site called Game Time.
Really?
Yes. If you go on Game Time, download the Game Time app, put in code OnlyinOKShow. No, don't do that. Don't do it. It'll kick you out. You can they do fire sales. They do, all kinds of stuff. And we were looking at tickets before I got tickets, and it was like $400 this, $500 that. Nah. I paid less than $200 for 2 tickets in 105 section at Paycom. I had to pull the trigger. Sometimes you just got to... Sometimes the honey-do list doesn't involve fixing the faucet or mowing the yard. Saying, honey-do, please buy those.
Yeah.
So, did that. Gosh, Mason turns 3. It was like, I've been on a world tour, and I finished off the weekend with pizza and cake, but HorrorCon, OKC HorrorCon, my 4th year in a row. I can't miss it. I don't even spend a bunch of money. I just like to walk around and go, whoa, wow, wee, if I had the money, wow. I could lose my mind at a horror convention. And I've actually lost my wallet. Literally and figuratively, I've lost my wallet at least one horror convention. So, yeah, it was a big weekend for me.
That's awesome.
I didn't touch the ground after Janet.
Yeah, I bet.
After that, it's like, my kid's turning 3. Yeah, but Janet Jackson, guys.
Look what I got you for your birthday. As a 3-year-old, I know that you really want this life-size photo,
right?
Life-size poster of Janet Jackson.
How old is Mason? Did you say Michael Jackson? Oh, Janet Jackson? No, Mason, he's 3. Yeah, so it was a big... I don't know that I've ever been that busy and managed to get a haircut in there somewhere. I don't know how, but I survived, and here we are.
That's awesome. So, you didn't do a whole lot of Oklahoma-based stuff,
Yeah,
though.
I did. Paycom's based in Oklahoma.
Yeah, but
HorrorCon's Oklahoma. My son is from Oklahoma.
Did you eat at any cool chili dog stands on the side of the road?
No, but... Well, yeah, there's always a chance of that. I did have Eagle One Pizza and more. They're local. It's damn good pizza for the price. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to find a better... It blows hot and ready out the door. Like $7.99 for a large pizza?
No, that's crazy.
Hand-tossed crust? Seriously?
For real? $7.99 pizza?
$7.99.
That's not a soggy dish rag with...
Absolutely not. Just the right... I'm not a sauce guy. I think sometimes pizza places put a little bit too much sauce on there. It's the right amount of sauce, toppings, and cheese. It's good cold. I like it. If a pizza's good cold, I'm all in. When we get pizza, anytime we get pizza, and it's more than, hell, if it's just two of us, and we get pizza, it's Eagle One Pizza. If it's a party, Eagle One Pizza.
Well, we do have a need for a good pizza place in a place that we haven't been to in a minute.
What?
Sapulpa, Oklahoma. I need to know the best pizza place in Sapulpa.
Well, I know there's a pretty good antique mall there. I did buy a vintage Kermit, but yeah, I haven't been to Sapulpa. Now, I've driven through or by it to go to Tulsa a few times because you can't help it. I mean, unless you go I-44. But yeah, Sugar Llama's is in Sapulpa. I know there's a Sbarro. They've got a Sbarro at the gas station in Sapulpa.
I don't think that counts. But in Sapulpa, you can do something that you can't do anywhere else that I'm aware of.
There's a list. Is it a law? Is it like a law? Like you're not allowed to hunt whales?
No, you can literally spend the night in the Old City Hall on historic Route 66.
I don't know. To me, I mean, it is a political. We're in probably the most political season ever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd want to stay in City Hall. Like, I feel like the ghosts of the days of yore are. Yeah, I think we'd have political poltergeists.
So they have taken the second and third floor of the Old City Hall building and turned it into a luxurious Airbnb.
I think it's a great idea. When's the last time you went down there? I love downtown Sapulpa.
I spent my birthday there.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think it was 2 years ago.
I like Sapulpa. It really, again, depending on which way you come in, it's kind of just, okay, where's downtown? And then all of a sudden, boom. It's like you're transported into like a time capsule. They have such a cute looking I love their downtown.
I had fun when I was in Sapulpa just driving around.
For sure.
The communities are not the communities, the neighborhoods around downtown.
Yeah.
Some of the coolest architecture around. I mean, I love old houses to begin with.
For sure.
But the entire downtown area is full of old buildings that have been really
well curated.
They kept them up or refinished them.
We talk about that all the time. Like I like it when there's been a couple of coffee shops and things that basically repurposed the building but kept the same overall aesthetic. Didn't go in and try to make it postmodern meets turn of the century.
I hear what you're saying. But this particular building, from the outside, reminds me a lot visually, of the firehouse from Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah.
If it had the big door where this building is that building. Yeah. The second and third floor. So the second floor is the Airbnb, and then the third floor is a loft.
Oh.
But this is a building that was built over 100 years ago. So the windows on the second floor, 12, 16-foot high windows.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, man.
It really is. Like, as soon as you walk in the door, though, there's an entire wall of historical photos of downtown Sapulpa with the historical facts and that type of stuff. But the building, the decoration itself, it's gorgeous. And it hints and kind of nods at the history without it being, a generic, boring, bureaucratic.
Right. Well, and you kind of going back to the pictures thing, I like it when you go into places like that and it kind of gives you that then and now. Mm-hmm. Because for me, especially if you're kind of into architecture, you're a little bit even into, well, first and foremost, if you're staying in a place like this, you got to kind of be a little bit into some Oklahoma history.
Right.
I mean, you're not just going there on a ho-hum. But I like the fact, to me, it kind of, it breathes more life into it because you can kind of I'm always talking about closing your eyes and hearing the hooves on the street in the nails being driven into the wood and stuff like that. I'm a visual person like that. So I like to kind of see the then and now. And it does a lot for me.
They do a really good job of the then and now kind of things.
Yeah.
So, like, there's an old fire door They didn't do anything to the fire door, so it's got that patina on it.
Oh, that's nice.
But all the walls around it are brand new, fresh, and white. Like it's pretty and new, but they have these, just the touches, these hints at the origins of the building. So the crown molding is there and things of that nature. But it's still crisp and clean, and you feel like you're in a really luxurious apartment.
And that's the thing, too. I like that they go in, they put a little bit of money in there, and it's not just we're repurposing it and throwing, like overdoing it with kitschy this and kitschy that, kind of giving it, breathing new life into it while still, again, preserving that patina and preserving that
the history.
The history, right. Yeah. Absolutely.
So right off the bat, though, you've got a full kitchen. It's a gourmet kitchen, everything you need to prepare a meal. The kitchen has no history to it at all.
Right.
Because it didn't exist before. There was no kitchen in the middle of this building.
Right, of course.
So instead of trying to fake it, they literally just made it look like the kitchen in the house that you win on the HGTV $1 million house giveaway.
Right.
It's just gorgeous. Like I said, it's got those 12 to 16 foot high ceilings, or windows, but the ceilings are huge. I mean, like, you could play tennis in there and not hit the ceiling.
Right.
It's got a floating staircase kind of ladder thing that leads up to the upper loft. I'm not a huge fan. I would prefer a regular staircase.
Why?
Just because
it's kind of played out.
Well, no, I'm kind of getting up there in age
and
running up and climbing up and down. Basically climbing up and down a ladder is a little something that a little more than I want to do in the middle of the night.
So you're saying it's family friendly, but maybe not age appropriate.
I would think some people may not like it.
The kids would love it,
but everything on the third floor suite is gorgeous.
Like once you traverse the ladder stairs, that the reward is the third floor.
Huge king size bed
to rest your knees on after you.
Gorgeous bathroom. All throughout the place, they've designed it, set it up in such a way that there's probably 100 different places where you can just kind of kick back and relax, drink a cup of coffee in the morning, window facing out here, window facing out there, kind of these little nooks and crannies, because again, it's over 100 years old.
Yeah. Oh, man. We keep doing these shows, these getaway shows. I need to get away bad. I need to really...
Janet Jackson's not enough of a getaway?
No, it's not. I mean, it's kind of for me a little. Not really for me, but, I'd much rather stay in a loft or in it's maybe the only time I'm ever allowed in City Hall that I'm not that I'm not paying a speeding ticket, which I got one of those recently. Not paying a speeding ticket or disputing something that the city of Morris had to say about my yard. Whoops.
That I felt a little,
maybe a tinge,
a little bit of the jaded side of Brett.
Just a little bit. I'm never going to forget what you did, you bearded dragon, you. Anyway, but yeah, this is a perfect, and this again,
I think it's a great getaway.
And it's not for the family. I'm sorry.
There is plenty of room for the family, but it is, I think it looks super relaxing. You've got Wi-Fi, TV, you've got free street parking, you've got a washer and dryer in there, but more importantly, all the history in the area.
Oh, for sure.
You've got the Waite you have the Waite Phillips Filling Station Museum, the Heart of Route 66 Auto Museum, the Rock Creek Bridge, and you mentioned it, downtown is packed with antique stores and museums.
Yes.
I mean, packed. I could spend a week going through their antique stores.
Oh, for sure. 100%. They spend a week and probably a week's pay.
They're set up they really care about people coming there to their stores. They're set up great. They're easy to maneuver around.
Yeah.
It's not piles of garbage.
Mm-hmm.
It's curated, and they're all well air conditioned. They're just great antique stores.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing, we have, over the years, we have talked to Main Street organizers, Main Street community. They are a Main Street community.
100%.
And one thing that you can do if you want to get involved, if you're somebody that wants to help preserve the history and help give back, you can contact SapulpaMainStreet.com and actually donate. You can do as much or as little as you want to help them keep revitalizing downtown Main Street. And that's anywhere. I think just about every Main Street community in the state of Oklahoma has something similar to this, because what they're doing there is for you.
It is. I mean, it's for their community primarily, but it's for everybody that visits.
Right.
And I think it's a great idea. As far as the Airbnb goes, we'll include a link in the show notes directly to this stay. I definitely think if you're looking for a getaway, Sapulpa's a great place to kind of get away from everything. You're close enough to Tulsa to get there, but none of the noise makes it all the way to Sapulpa.
Well, coming up next, it's not George Norrie, but we are going to talk coast to coast in Sapulpa. Stick around.
I'm Raven Rollins, and this is my Southern True Crime podcast where I discuss cases from my former hometown. Ada, Oklahoma paints itself as an average community, but its history of murder and corruption runs deeper than any story has ever told. You'll hear plenty of special guests, including authors and experts in their fields, who visit with me on each episode, as well as other cases in the southern states. With notorious and unknown cases alike, every victim sees the light on my show. This is Sirens, a true crime podcast.
Most people don't realize this.
What? Is it I think I kind of know, but I don't want to spoil it.
Sapulpa might not have been a town if it weren't for the Atlantic and Pacific railroads.
I was thinking it was going to be something to do with Route 66, the longest continuous stretch of road that spanned from the Atlantic to the Pacific.
It was a little before that.
Okay.
The county seat of Creek County, Sapulpa, is situated along Interstate 44, State Highways 33 and 97, and historic Route 66. But in 1886, the Atlantic and Pacific Railroad, later the St. Louis and San Francisco Railway, extended its line from Red Fork to this area.
I goofed earlier. When I said it, if you pass through it or by it when you take the turnpike, unless you go I-44.
Mm-hmm.
When I think of it, where Sapulpa is, I don't think of I-44 running adjacently to the turnpike. Maybe I need to do my geographical research.
You recently did a video that you've caught a little bit of flack for.
Now listen to it carefully. When I say, what is it I say? I-44, like I've been traveling I-40 for 35 years.
Yes.
But it sounds like I'm saying I-44
in the
35 years.
In the captions.
Yes, the captions
put I-44, and you caught some heat for that.
And I've traveled that particular stretch of road, whether I was in a car seat or in the front seat or the driver's seat, for damn near 30, 40 years plus.
Your inability to determine one highway from another is not really important when it comes to Sapulpa. But the town of Sapulpa, the place where those two railroads met, became known as Sapulpa Station in honor of Chief James Sapulpa, a full-blood Lower Creek from Alabama who had befriended local railway workers.
Okay. Now, see, that's the other thing. Me and the miss, we always say, every time we drive by or I drive through it, I go, Sapulpa. She goes, Sapulpa. So it's like a game. It's like Slug Bug, only she says Sapulpa. And I say Sapulpa. So I'm not making fun.
No.
There are
certain names in Oklahoma that are fun to say.
And there's certain names that are impossible to say correctly if you're not from here.
I don't know if it's impossible. I just think
if you don't know.
It's like learning a different language. You know,
you're defying everything that you know about the A makes an ah sound.
True.
And eyes don't exist. So Sapulpa is probably one of the easier ones.
Well, the first 3 decades, 1890 to 1920, of Sapulpa's rapid growth can be directly attributed to the railroad activities and the exploitation of natural resources such as walnut trees, petroleum, natural gas, and sand for glass manufacturing.
Really?
Yeah, I had no idea.
None.
But by 1900, the railroad designated Sapulpa as a division point, and basically the initial period of economic development continued through close to 1930, when the railroad moved its maintenance shops to Tulsa. And today, a little bit of that history has been preserved at the Sapulpa Interurban Trolley Museum, which is right there on Dewey Avenue.
Where did we go to the train station that one time?
I don't
Remember we went? It was the day we went to the Blue Whale.
I don't know.
Gosh, why do I feel like
It was Sapulpa?
I think so?
I'm not sure.
Because it's a big setup, and they got the train cars there.
This is a trolley.
I know, but I feel like I don't know. We'll have to get back to it. Don't cut this out.
The museum itself is situated in the offices of the Tulsa Sapulpa Union Railway. It's a small museum that kind of offers a glimpse into the past with displays of railway vehicles, including a caboose and a restored trolley car.
Okay.
It's open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. There's no admission fee, and it's a great stop.
Yeah.
It's definitely a place to, especially if you're into railway or Oklahoma history or history in general.
Kids aren't. That's the problem. Like, that's why families can't. I just can't take my kids to this thing. Because I love you, kids. But kids are more interested in Great Wolf Lodge and where's the laser tag and the paintball hat? You know what I mean? Like,
To a degree, but I think if you have fun with it, they'll have fun with it, especially when you start younger.
true.
I think if you try to take a 17-year-old who has no
interest.
knowledge and no interest of anything except video games and try to thrust him into a history lesson,
Yeah.
it's not going to bode well for you. But I think if you make it fun and raise them right early on, kids like.
What's that song? Teach your children well. You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
I think that's Buffalo Springfield, or I don't know. It doesn't matter. Teach your children well.
Yes.
Teach them about trains. Teach them all the nerdy stuff. You know what I mean? Get them geeked out about stuff that's not connected to the internet. Here's a rock. Here's a stick.
I guess if you're going to teach kids stuff about the internet, teach them how to give proper feedback.
Well, yeah. And then they grow up to be guys like Jake.
So we do have a little bit of feedback from Jake Jones.
JJ.
He said, "Hey, I've totally been enjoying the podcast. So happy I stumbled across you guys on TikTok.
You said TikTok.
TikTok. Keep up the great work."
TikTok sounds like a social media for people with Tourette's.
It sounds like something an old guy would say.
TikTok. My dad, Uncle John, rest his soul, would say, I don't know, I heard about it on the tweeter.
And again, I mean, as an old guy, I think you have a little bit of leeway when it comes to things like that. It's part of it.
Dude, but I'm clinging. I'm clinging to my street cred. I'm trying to stay on top of what's bussin'.
Speaking of bussin', we have a little bit more feedback.
Oh, really?
From SW Bus.
Oh.
Which I will include a link to their website in the show notes. But in reference to one of the videos that we had asked them if they wanted more of a particular type of episode, they said, "Hell yes, don't limit yourself to anything. You guys are entertaining. We watch you wherever you are."
Hey, will you come pick us up on a bus?
I think they do bus repair. I think that's what they do.
I bet they've got a bus that someone didn't pay.
Oh, they probably have
on a lien.
Some bad A buses.
They got some buses. No cap. On God.
Mm-hmm.
Rizzy. Resi? Is it Resi? Rizzy. I'm not sure. Do we have any resident teens here that can confirm or deny that I'm using the algorithm properly?
I think it's rizzing.
Rizzing. What is it? What is it? Rizzing.
I think it means like you're hitting on somebody. You're using your charisma.
Charisma. Ah.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. When you break down these, when I hear no cap, I'm like, caps lock. You know what I mean? Like, I'm all caps, bro. They're like, no, you don't want to be all caps. Why? Are you a liar? No capping, dude. No capping allowed. So, hey, if you got feedback, we like those too. We'll do feedback. We'll do a feet pack. God, what? I don't know what's happening. I think I had a minor.
Did you just have a stroke?
Anyway,
I'm going to.
Hey, keep leaving the feedback. We love to hear from you. We love your suggestions and your input. But what really greases the wheels and what really grinds our gears is when people don't tell the places that go about us. Do us a favor. Do yourself a favor. You want us to keep doing this thing. Anytime you go buy a burger at anywhere but Burger King, tell them Only in OK Show sent you. You're not going to get a discount, but we need to spread the word. You're our street team. We can't do it without you. You're why we're here. So keep rocking, keep on trucking. And if the vans are rocking, please come a knocking, because that means that we're putting a wonderful show and a wonderful product together just for you. Well, this has been the Only in OK Show. New episodes, new content all the time. I'm Brett.
And I'm Harley, and we're out of here.
Peace. On the road again.
Yes, sir. Okay. You ready to be Mayor McCheese?
On the road again, like a bag of cheeseburgers we held in the highway. We're the best of friends. Holly Covington, Road Wage. Dude, some of the... Johnny Carson's one of my favorites of all time. Like, just top tier comedy. But his Karnak bits, dude, those were the best.
Microsoft Copilot wrote a song for us.
For who? Us?
For
Don't
me.
lie.
Swear to God. You ready for it?
You did AI?
You ready for
Let's
it?
hear it.
To the tune of Good Old Boys from the Dukes of Hazzard, I think.
Making a plate the only way I know how.
Hang on. Will this thing actually read this for me? Surely not.
Good Old Boys from the Dukes of Hazzard. Verse 1. Just a good old show, never mean no harm. Highlighting Oklahoma's charm from farm to city farm. Beats all you never saw, tales of watermelon delight. Rush Springs festivals under the Oklahoma sun so bright. Chorus. Straightening the stories, flattening the myths. From Juniper's fine dining to Max Wing's tasty gifts. Someday the world might get 'em, but their spirit never will. Only in Oklahoma, where adventure takes the thrill. Verse 2. Max Wing's got you covered, flavors saucy and bold. And Piedmont's Community Park, where memories unfold. Come on, ride the train through history's grand design. Oklahoma Railway Museum, where old locomotives shine. Chorus. Straightening the tales, flattening the hills. From Juniper's award-winning dishes to watermelon spills. Someday the world might get 'em, but their pride never will. Only in Oklahoma, where heart and soul fulfill. Outro. Howdy y'all. Tune in to the Only in Oklahoma show, where Harley and Brett share stories that glow. From Route 66 to hidden gems, they'll guide your way. In this underrated state where adventure's here to stay. Feel free to sing along, and remember Oklahoma is more than just okay.
Print it.
Oh my God, that was so cringy. Literally, they just pulled random song or episode titles.
Mainly from the last
5 or 6 shows.
5 or 6
10
shows,
yeah. Huh.
How did you do? Did you do that on your own? Or you
I literally just went to Microsoft and said, make me a song about the Only in OK Show.
Mm-hmm.
Let me try it again. I'm going to redo it.
I hate to say it, I'd have it.
Certainly. The Only in Oklahoma show is a delightful journey through the heart of the Sooner State. Hosted by Harley and Brett, this podcast celebrates all things uniquely Oklahoman. From hidden gems along Route 66 to mouth-watering dishes at Juniper, they've got you covered. Tune in for heartwarming stories, local adventures, and a dash of that Oklahoma spirit.
That's a hell of a promo.
Make me a promo for Only Show. Are you ready for your promo?
Only in Oklahoma show promo. Upbeat music playing. Harley, hey there fellow Okies. I'm Harley, and this is my partner in adventure, Brett. Brett, howdy y'all. Whether you're a born and raised Oklahoman or just passing through, the Only in Oklahoma show is your ticket to the heart of this great state. Harley, we're talking about the stuff you won't find in your average travel guide, like that quirky roadside attraction off Route 66, where the world's largest concrete totem pole stands tall. Brett, and don't forget the food. From Juniper's award-winning dishes to Max Wing's finger-licking goodness, we're dishing out the best bites in the Sooner State. Harley, but it's not just about places and plates. It's about the people, the storytellers, the dreamers, and the folks who make Oklahoma feel like home. Brett, so grab your headphones, kick back, and join us on this wild ride. The Only in Oklahoma show where adventure meets heart and the spirit of the prairie comes alive. Music fades out. Harley, until next time, keep it real, keep it okie. Brett, and remember folks, there's no place like home, only in Oklahoma. End of promo.
What? We don't have a promo.
We don't, but it's kind of cheesy. Oh my god. We do. Are you ready to do a show? I'm ready to do a show. Can we do a show? Are we going to do a show? It looks like you're not ready. It looks like you're researching TikTok videos. Are you trying to make it to level 33 of Candy Crush or whatever?
All right. In 3, 2, 1.